Hello, I'm meteorologist Rob Carlmark here with an extended forecast about all the topics that you see here. Now, this is going to be a pretty aggressive week as far as weather goes because not only do we have huge flip-flops in the weather, which does, by the way, happen almost every single early spring, but there's going to be some major impacts because this is the time of year when, at least on the schedule and in the calendar, you start to plan a lot more things outdoors. And I think some of that's going to be affected in the days ahead. So we've got some of the warmest weather we've seen this entire year. In fact, I think it will be the warmest weather of the year, at least to start things off on Monday, Tuesday. Then we're going to have some middle to the end of the week, mostly Sierra showers. And then we're going to get some rain in the valley starting on Sunday. And then that extends to at least part of Monday, part of Tuesday, part of Wednesday. Why does that matter? Guess what? We've got some baseball games, some big ones coming up as MLB shows up in Sacramento to kick off the season locally. And we've got rain in the forecast. So here's our current situation. We are below average for rain and we are below average for snow. So it sounds like this is all bad news. And guess what? It's not great, but it's not that bad. Our reservoirs are well above average. Snowpack has come up a bunch. We're not that far off for rain. And we do not have any drought for Northern California. Southern California, it's a little different situation. Obviously, they missed out on almost everything this year. But at least as far as local conditions, we're in good shape. So sure, we're warming up, but we're going back to some wet weather. So we actually need some help for rain and snow, and we're going to get it. So I know it's late season, but guess what, folks? We're down by about one big storm right here, 1 to 2 inches locally. Far Northern California is still in great shape. Southern California, there's just not enough time left on the clock here as we are nearly into April. Now look at this. Our April 1st average, this is where we want to be by the beginning of April 1st for a full snowpack. We're down a little bit. Northern Sierra is well above average. Central, Southern, we're a little bit below, but this is not a bad season at all. We've had a lot of big ones somewhat recently, but this will not go down as a bad one. More or less an average snowpack year. And for rain, nearly average for Northern California, below average for Southern California, which, by the way, is very La Nina-esque. With that said, our reservoirs are in good shape. Most are well above average. And then we flipped the script. On Saturday, we saw some clouds with some sprinkles. On Sunday, we started to warm up, 77 degrees. And then now we're moving forward here with the weather this week is all about the warming. Then we're going to very dramatically turn the page and go back to 60s for highs. And then we really have to focus on some of those rain and snow chances, including in the valley beginning on Sunday. I wouldn't rule out a random shower until we get there, but it's not going to be today or tomorrow. In fact, today and tomorrow, the warmest temperatures forecast of the year so far. You have to go back to the end of October last year to see an 80-degree mark. So it's been about 148 to 149 days in a row that we've seen temperatures top out below 80 degrees. People forget, yes, Sacramento's hot. We all understand that. It's one of the hottest places in California during the summer. But if you actually go and look at some of the other times of the year, it's actually kind of cold, or at least mild, for about a third of the year at least. So that is important when you're talking about the climatology of the region. But here we go. We're getting warm again. Temperatures near 80 degrees in Sacramento for the high today, 80 Stockton, 80 Modesto. The 60s up high, which always throws people for a loop. You might be thinking, oh, 66, that's kind of cold. But it's not at elevation. You really do feel much warmer, even though the temperatures are lower. So here's our area of high pressure. We're seeing, just a few wispy clouds here or there, but overall, when high pressure is this dominant, it's really difficult to find anything other than sunshine, dry, sinking air, and just a very settled forecast. So that's where we are, a giant dome. When you're directly underneath it, one of the other things worth paying attention to is the wind. We don't have very much wind, so think about this. It's more mild, it's getting warm, and there's very little wind. That means it's going to be ripe conditions for mosquitoes over the next couple of evenings, and also to a lesser extent early in the morning as well. Now I'm going to show you the futurecast, and let me just tell you, this is a very abrupt change between one way of living to the other. Next couple days, sunny, warm, nice, no issues whatsoever. Then Wednesday, Thursday, we start to see the systems crack open that storm window, and here we go. Between Wednesday and Thursday, it's mostly Sierra, coastal range, very light showers. There's a lot of warm air left over, so it's mostly just rain that we're talking about here. Then we pull in some cold air by Friday, and then we're looking at some light Sierra snow and even some lower elevation showers, which could sneak into Friday night, the valley floor. It's going to be kind of tough, but I would watch that. Saturday, we're good to go. Sunday, Middle of the day, folks, look what that looks like. This is not that much rain, a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain. But we got things going on Saturday. There's Little League games, there's softball games, there's just things going on a weekend. And we are looking at rain and cooler temperatures during the day on Sunday as well as Sunday night. Now I paused it Monday at 6:30 here. Why would I do that? Well, Monday is the first game in Sacramento for the A's. And the problem with that is that just in the beginning of that, we might be okay, but then the rain chances do start to pick up. So this is going to be, it's iffy on Monday. But then when we get to Tuesday, much better chances because at the beginning of the game, we've got rain just starting to move in. Then on Wednesday, I paused it again. Why? It's the third game of the series, also against the Cubs, and we were just right in it. This, of course, could change, obviously, but this time period, starting Sunday through at least the middle of the week, each and every day you have rain chances in general, but a lot of those are focused actually during the times of these games. So we'll have to wait and see, but those are 3 games that could be affected by the flip-flopping of the weather changes. Then let's go ahead and extend it out a little bit more. Big bubble of high pressure, lots of warm temperatures in the middle of the country, but we're over here. So once we crack this thing open on Sunday and the beginning of the week, it could go on for the rest of the week, not only cooler, but maybe even wetter than average. So in other words, once we get past these warm days and we start to see the temperatures tumble down, the conditions change, including on Sunday, which is rain chances, then you can see Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's not all day long, but we absolutely have to start watching how the weather is going to affect us once we get to this weekend and all of next week. We are in day 1 of a weather impact alert. This is for rain, for snow, and for wind.
Be flood ready and expect major mountain impacts.
It's that snow-rain mix that drivers have been dealing with here.
We're already seeing the impact of the storm.
We're planning for those changes.
Be prepared for treacherous road conditions.
Stay fire ready.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on ABC10 Plus.